all of you with my love and blessings. Today, successfully we are ending the Nirahara Samyama level 3. After a very long time, I am also completing. We are ending the Nirahara Samyama level 3. But immediately I am starting the Samyama. Formally, I will take little bit of Venkateshwara's Prasadam, like a sign of completing the Nirahara Samyama level 3. And today I will give you all, whoever is completing Nirahara Samyama level 3, all of them, little bit of Venkateshwara's Prasadam. All of you guys can complete the Nirahara Samyama level 3 and start eating. But I am going to continue the Samyama from today. And I am also planning to work on my body within next 6 months. I feel I can taper down even this juice which I am taking, liquid, even that I will taper down and become a complete Nirahari without even water or any liquid. Just to give a statement about the yogic powers, not to be pride of or egoistic about me, what is there? There is nothing. Even if I eat, nothing. If I don't eat, also nothing. Just to give inspiration to all you guys about the yogic powers and just to tell you guys that it's possible. Still it is possible. We have not lost the science. The science is available. Whether you are available or not is the only question. But the science is still available to the world. Every incarnation proves all yogic and spiritual sciences are still alive and available. When I land on the planet Earth, the first statement I make is, hey, still I am alive and available. All the yogic sciences and spiritual sciences, inner sciences are available and alive. Now only you have to decide whether you are alive or not, whether you are available to it or not. So I have one more good news. From yesterday, I made myself available on Facebook also. I was only available in Twitter earlier. Yesterday I started putting my messages in Facebook. Sri Nityananda.Swami, that's the ID. Sri Nityananda.Swami. From today, morning satsang will be called as Nitya Satsang. And this means we will have satsang every day without missing even a single day. Till now, 118 requests for Brahmacharya has come, Brahmacharya Kriya. Still more continuously calls and emails are coming. So because of that, I am postponing the Brahmacharya Kriya for 1 or 2 days. And I also need to end the satsang little early for next 3-4 days because of Malaysia NSP and Tiruvannamalai NSP. So after the Malaysia and Tiruvannamalai NSP, I'll share the Brahmacharya Kriya with you all because I have to sit and teach the whole 1.5 hours. And I wanted all the people who are going to practice this on 2-way. Let us start today's satsang. In Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, 16th verse.
नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चातिस्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन.
नात्यस्तु नातस्तु योगोस्ति न चैकान्तमनस्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन. In every respect, O Arjuna, neither the one who eats too much or the one who refrains from eating, and neither the one who is sleepy nor the one who is sleepless reach the state of intense action and perfection. See the sutra exactly on the day when we are completing the Nirahara Samyama. It's almost like a timing is so perfect with Krishna. That is why I say, you can never call these great masters in past tense. See, he's exactly telling, today, for ordinary human beings, neither eating too much nor eating nothing, neither sleeping too much nor non-sleeping, both extremes are not right. Please understand, when I say Nirahara, it's not that I make you completely without eating. I make your body receive the energy directly from the ether. So it is totally different. When you become complete Nirahari, the state you achieve is totally different from what Bhagavan calls here. So in 6 months, I am also going to completely stop eating. I am slowly tapering down. But that does not mean I am doing something against what Bhagavan is saying. No. Bhagavan is giving a certain example because there are some people stop eating, stop sleeping out of their ego and to get attention from others. My Niraharis don't even remember. They just live. My Niraharis are not depriving themselves for ego or any other reason. It is just simple. They feel it is not necessary. Bhagavan is teaching here middle path for seekers. Don't do overeating as a bogey. Don't completely stop eating. You will become rogi. If you are in the middle path, you will become yogi. For my Niraharis, I teach you special science. So it is special powers expressing through you. That is why you are able to manage without eating solid food. You are totally different. I really want in next 1 year, Biddi and Thiruvannamalai, these two campuses should be the place where only gods live, means no food. I want to train the yogis who live like gods. We don't eat. We just take Swamiji's Charanamrita and Belpatra. That is what is described as a food in Kailash. The Shivaganas don't eat. They just take the Charanamrita and Belpatra, the bel leaf from Mahadeva's head and Charanamrita from Mahadeva's feet. Ganga which comes and washes Mahadeva's feet, and the Belpatra she brings and offers to Mahadeva. That's it. Not by force, but by the power of yogic tradition. It is possible. It is possible. And we cook food only to offer to deities and to offer to devotees. Bhagavan and Bhaktas receive food. We don't eat anything. And I really feel at least these two centers, we should make it the center of Niraharis, where people live beyond the need for any solid food. And I am also doing a lot of studies just through liquid juice, making people stable first, then slowly fading that also away, so people are able to manage. O Arjuna, neither the one who eats too much nor the one who refrains from eating, and neither the one who is sleepy nor the one who is sleepless reaches the state of yoga. So what is the path? Madhyapanta, middle path. Eat only what is required to the body. Sleep only what is required, how much is required. Our yogis don't eat, our niraharis don't eat because they don't need. Not that they want and they try to restrict themselves. No. They don't need. Whether you eat too much or you eat nothing, you become sick. Be in the middle path to be a yogi. Same way, be in the middle path in everything. That's the only way you become yogi.
We have an email from an Inner Awakening graduate, Vijay Sagar from Virginia. She is writing, Dear Swamiji, a lot has been going on in my life in the past 8 months, and when I look back, I am amazed at how things were handled. There were multiple issues or situations swirling around constantly at any given time, but I always felt like I was in the eye of the storm, calm, cool, and collected, always knowing that things will work out. My subconscious kept reminding me that everything that happens is Mangalatva. Things fell in place beautifully and life is blissful. Pre-inner awakening, that is before inner awakening, I would have been a basket case trying to control the situation. Now, I just let it be and eagerly wait to see the outcome, which never ceases to amaze me. Life is indeed beautiful, and this would have never been possible without Swamiji and inner awakening. Pranams to Swamiji.
Vijay Sagar, first thing I want to tell you is, I saw really the consciousness of Andal flowering in you. Please understand, when you feel love for the life, love for the God will happen in you. God is nothing but life. Whether you love life or God, it is one and the same. But if you are in love with God, you cannot hate life. If you are in love with life, you cannot hate God. I tell you, I saw very clearly the consciousness of Andal flowering in you. I know you are in love with life and God. Let it grow, grow, grow and flower in you as a complete enlightenment. Blessings.
The next question is on Brahmacharyam from a devotee in France. He is asking, Pranam beloved Swamiji, what is Swamiji's position on Osho's vision of Brahmacharyam and Sannyas? In Western countries, where exposure to sexuality starts early in life, much before marriage, is Brahmacharyam possible?
I tell you, if there is no exposure, out of ignorance, brahmacharyam is possible. If there is too much exposure, out of frustration, brahmacharyam is possible. In the eastern countries, due to less exposure, ignorance can help brahmacharya. In the western countries, early exposure means frustration can lead to brahmacharya. So understand, it is possible. It is possible. I don't want to comment on Osho's vision of brahmacharyam and sannyas because he never explored this path. He never worked in this path. He never led his disciples in this path. So, because he never chose this path, I don't want to comment on his vision. Next.
The next question is regarding Nirahara Samyama from Shanti Devi, Croatia. She is asking, beloved Swamiji, Shanti Devi has finished the Nirahara Samyama successfully in the first group in June-July. She is also registered for these Nirahara Samyama and Inner Awakening in December 2012. Can Shanti Devi repeat the first Samyama, maybe as refreshing bio-memory, sometime in October, before coming for the December D Samyama?
Yes, you can. These 3 levels of Nirahara Samyama, you can do it as many times as you want, no problem. You can go on, go on, go on. It will only encourage and help your bio-memory to experience and prepare yourself better for the Samyama. You can go on be doing these 3 level Samyamas as many times as you want, as you can. Continue, nothing wrong.
Paramahamsa Nityananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nityananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nityananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers. an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nityananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nityanandaya swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroganivarakam Vande Papa Vinashaktam Nityanandaya swagatam Nityamuktam Nirvikalpam Dhyanaloka Pradipakam Vande Shanta